Okay, in this video we're going to demonstrate some fundamental head drawing techniques. So I'm going to demonstrate how we can apply some of the techniques, strategies, and the fundamentals that were discussed in the lecture portion. And we'll go through a few examples. And this first example is a male front view. So this is a very idealized type male, and that's what you want to practice with in the beginning. So I'm going to start with a nice shape, and a block works perfectly. Basically a rounded square works great for most males, especially idealized males. Then once I find my block, I'm going to locate crosshairs. I'm going to place my ear, and now I can begin adding basic structures and the features. So first I'm going to separate the facial mask. Now the hair is covering the tip of the hairline, so I'm going to guess or estimate where the tip will be. Then I'm going to find my brow ridge and the bottom of the nose and center of the mouth. Next I'm going to place the center of the eyes. Remember, that's a key rhythm to help us locate a lot of the features. So here I'm just estimating. And let's see. I'm going to complete my features by indicating brow ridge. And the keystone rhythm here will give me the top plane of the nose. The top plane is going to be very important in front view, obviously. Next, I'm just going to place the eyes as spheres, as balls, and that'll give us two rhythms. One, tear duct to the side of the nose, like that, and center of the eyes to the side of the mouth. Next, I'm just going to locate where the chin and the ear might lie. So I'm going to also use rhythms to check myself. Here I know right away that the shape has to be refined. Much too wide. Much more of a narrow face, more of a rectangle than a square. Ears placed as such. And let's see, can indicate the lips there. And then I'm going to just block in the hair before I refine my drawings. I want to make sure that overall the shape feels right. And his hair is very tall. It extends much higher than where the cranium would be. So I'm actually going to exaggerate that. Make it feel very tall and long and thin. So you kind of want to note the character of the head. And that's pretty much it. Now I can anchor the head using the natural rhythms. Describe some of that costume detail, the fabric. And that is pretty much it. Here I can just refine my details, add some of the brow hair, and then cut out the opening for the eye. Very simplified opening. Drop in the pupils, and I'm going to refine my jaw structure here, my chin. Clean up some of my construction lines, just so it's a little bit cleaner, and then further define the nose. And when you do practice, you don't want to draw this dark. No, I'm drawing dark only for the sake of this video. But if I was actually drawing this on my newsprint pad here or on my sketchbook, I would draw extremely light. In fact, the lines would be so light they won't. See, this is pretty much how light I would go, and they're probably barely visible in this video, and that's what you want. So I am drawing dark. It looks very messy because I'm drawing too dark. So in your practice, you definitely want to draw much lighter and work with a softer touch. And you can see now I have to clean up some of the ink lines, and that concludes this demo here for this front view. And for your practice, you want to Again, you want to choose more idealized male types like this. Young, model-looking, superhero-looking type males. Okay, very simple and easy to learn from. Okay, next we have a 3/4 view. So I'm going to start, give myself a nice shape. And I'm going to use like a helmet-y type shape. And a helmet shape is just a compound shape. It's basically an egg or ball with a rectangle or box attached to it. So it's sort of a compound shape, and that fits perfectly for this male. Okay, next, cross hairs. Center of the face, center of the eyes. Next, plot some of the features here. I'm just going to roughly indicate. They may be moved when I do my rhythm check. Center of the eyes. Now he doesn't have hair, so I'm going to estimate the hairline will be right here. Locate my thirds, brow line, bottom of the nose, center of the mouth, halfway down, between nose and the chin. There's my rough feature indication, rough feature placement. Now I want to find my ear. So I'm going to follow the rhythm of the center line of the eyes, back, down, follow the rhythm of the chin and jaw structure up, and this intersection right here should give me center of the ear, or where the ear attaches to the head. That's the point here. I'm going to draw it on this model. It's right here. That point where the ear attaches to the side of the head. Definitely want to make note of that point. Okay, so I've got some structures here. I'm going to separate again, facial mask, just to give myself some bearings. I kind of need to know where I am. I know my neck is too long. The shoulder, in this pose, the model is looking over the shoulder slightly. Okay, so now it's time to place some features. So first, rhythm of the brow ridge, coming down, placing the eyeball. So as you can see, I did have to move the eyeball a little bit. Next, the keystone, just going to draw that in, estimate at it. Extend the brow ridge out a little bit, and then fill it in with the eyeball, the sphere of the eye. And it's another minor rhythm here for the meat of the brow. Okay, now using the tear duct to find the side of the nose, using the keystone to find the top plane of the nose, and then I'm going to describe the bottom plane. Now this male is ethnic. It's an African type male, so obviously the nostrils will be wider. So you want to make a note of that in your rhythm, in your placement. I'm going to refine the side of the cheek. Drop this rhythm down to help me locate where the chin, how wide the chin will be. Now I want to know how wide the mouth and how much the mouth will protrude. So I'm going to place the barrel and the rhythm of the chin. Next, the eye. The eye, well, actually maybe I was right with the eyes here. It's starting to feel right. Okay, cool. I was very close the first try. So again, center of the eyes. Drop it down. Guess what? Leads us to center or the corners of the mouth. And then I can do simplified lips to start. 2 trapezoids. And then further refine lip shape. This is pretty much done. This study is pretty much done. Now I'm going to just refine the shapes I have here. Clean up some of my construction lines. Again, you want to draw much lighter than I am in this video. So now, because our foundation is so solid, look at this step right here. It becomes very simple for us. Because we followed the rhythms. We took our time. We worked in an orderly manner. We worked in a very strategic manner. And we were able to place a lot of our features. note some of the detail of the brow, and then I'm going to cut out the opening for the eye. Very simplified opening, and place the pupil. Refines this cheekbone, and we're pretty much done with this drawing. So as you can see, this went by very quickly. So I'm not encouraging you to rush, but we're not spending a lot of time on details, lighting and shading. This is just a study to review the steps, review the process. So again, you want to spend about anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and you want to work relatively small. I know scale-wise this drawing looks huge, but you want to work relatively small, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches for your drawing. You don't want to work too big. You want to do these fairly quickly and just drill the steps. Okay, so that's it for this view. Okay, here we have another male. This is a front view, but slightly looking down. So again, starting with my basic shape. And this is, to me, it's just a modified box. This is what I see. Modified boxy thing with a tapering bottom. That's what I see, but then of course I refined the shape to include the chin. Next, crosshairs. So locate the crosshairs, center of the face, center line, and center of the eyes. Next, rule of thirds. So I'm going to drop in my eye line here, touch on the hairline, touch on the brow line, bottom of the nose, and it's going to be covered by the nose actually, because it's looking down, and center of the mouth, halfway down between nose and chin. Next, I'm going to continue with my features. Before I move on to the skull and the ear, I just want to, these features are so important, I want to get that down. And I want to note the downturn, so the ball of the nose is going to overlap the bottom plane of the nose. Here the rhythm of the eye will carry us down over. Then I'm going to wrap the mouth, and I'm going to start with the muzzle rhythm here. It's pretty important in this pose. And just drop in the ball of the chin just to give me an idea of the general width of my chin. And now I can place my ear. So place the ear here, place the ear here, follow that rhythm down, follow that rhythm down. So everything looks like it's in order. Here, separate facial mass. I'm going to refine that line, refine the hairline to closer match the subject. I think that hairline is critical to the likeness, especially in this pose, and also on the opposite side, the far side. Then I'm going to block in the hair. We're not going to draw individual strands by any means. We're not even going to come close. We're going to treat the hair as one big lumpy shape. Group it together. Design it as one lumpy shape. That's the shape that I see for the hair. And a lot of the neck is covered here, again, by the head and the face. So I'm going to bring just some of this costume detail, that suit and tie, to show not only head attachment, but to show the angle of the head looking down. It's a powerful way to describe that. And really, I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to refine some shapes, refine the jaw. Next, refine the chin. The chin feels a little off. It's going to be key to the likeness. Refine the nostrils. And then drop in some more detail here. And then cut out the opening of the eye. And just lightly indicate the pupil. And finally, just drop in the lips. And you can draw the cigarette prop if you like. I think it's a pretty cool prop. And then the mustache for some detail and a little bit of likeness. And we are pretty much done. Clean up some of my construction lines again. Please draw much lighter than I'm drawing here. This is only for demonstration purposes only. So keep your drawings light and tight. And we can continue to embellish details as much as we want and then add lighting and shading color. But we're pretty much done with this example here of front view looking down. Okay, next we have another 3/4. So again, starting with the shape. And we're going to go back to that blocky kind of hybrid shape, somewhere between an egg and a box, really, or a rectangle. That's what I see here. Next, I want to note crosshairs. So this male is looking down slightly, so I do want to make note of that extremely subtle tilt. So note that. Refine my shape a little bit. And I'm going to refine the skull shape here because I want to separate the facial mask right away. Okay, and I'm also going to place the ear right away, just so I know the tilt of the head. Ear is a critical landmark for locating tilt and angles and rotation. Okay, now we got my hairline, got my center line. Let's start with the thirds. So brow line, bottom of the nose, indicate the center of the mouth. Next, I'm going to indicate the center of the eyes, but they may be moved. Next, I'm going to follow the rhythm of the brow structure, the brow bone here. And I'm going to go ahead and place my eyes in my brow structure as spheres. Next, moving down to the nose, starting with the keystone, it'll give us the rhythm of the top plane. Tear duct gives us the rhythm of the side of the nostril. Center of the eyes gives us the rhythm down to the side of the mouth here, corners of the mouth. And since I have the mouth indicated, I'm going to go ahead and place my lips. And yeah, that's pretty much it here for the feature indication. I'm going to drop in my chin. I'm going to drop in that muzzle rhythm here. I see it slightly. It also helps us to locate the ball of the nose there. And we're going to drop in the side of the face and the cheekbone rhythm there. So that looks pretty good. Now I can just refine my shapes. I want to go ahead and place the hair shape there, block it in. Again, the hair is much higher, much taller than the, in this case, much taller than the actual skull itself. Maybe it's not that tall. Actually, I can't even see it. It's so dark in the picture. I'm kind of guessing as to the shape of his hair. That's okay. It's not a crucial detail. Really, all the hard work is done. So now we can just embellish a little bit, add the fun details that we all like to draw as artists. refine the cheek, refine the cheek. Refine the mouth and lips shape. And actually, I knew something felt wrong. I didn't have a neck and shoulders. It looked very weird. To me, heads with no neck and shoulders feel very weird because that's how the body works. Everything is relating to the other forms. They move seamlessly and flow seamlessly. So we always want to include the neck in our drawing. And now I can just embellish more with the details here. Brow hair, refine my keystone, refine the nose shape. He has a little bit of a hook to his nose here. We want to note that. And his ball is a little bit larger, a little bit more prominent, so we want to note that. Ball of his nose. As you can see, I'm treating the nose as a block. I start as a block, and then I refine it afterwards. So very simple, very geometric, very blocky. And then cut out the eye opening. Cut out the eye opening. And notice I'm not drawing almond eyes here, I'm drawing spheres. Because eyes aren't almonds, they're actual balls. They're balls that sit inside a hole, a socket. So you never want to draw almond eyes. That's the quickest way to flatten your head drawing is to draw almond eyes. You always want to note the way the lids wrap. And we're pretty much done. I can refine some shapes. Refine some shapes here. Clean up some of my drawing. Drawing is very dark, so it looks extremely messy. So I hope in your practice you can draw with a much lighter touch than I'm doing here. And that is pretty much it for this drawing here. Just a matter of cleanup and adding some more details, but we're pretty much ready to move on to the next step, which would be lighting and shading. Okay. And finally we have a side view. This is a sculpture by Bernini. I always enjoy drawing sculptures, especially by certified masters like Bernini here. He's an excellent sculptor. So I'm going to start with the shape now. Normally I like pie shape, this shape for side view, but this subject is very fat. He has a very round fat face, so we're going to use a ball, use an egg. I think that will work well. And then we're just going to refine it to include some of the skull and the hat details. We're going to touch on that as well. So now we have a very messy looking ball thing. That's okay. Next, center line, crosshair. So this is slight 3/4. We can see a little bit of the center line. We can definitely locate the eye line. There it is. And the eye line will lead us to the ear connection. So we can already start to separate facial mask once we locate the ear. And that's how powerful the ear is as a landmark. I'm going to refine my skull shape. Refine this head shape to include this hat here. I know we can't see the top of the hat, so I'm just going to leave it cut off like it is in the picture. Next we're going to start laying in the features. So first, brow ridge, bottom of the nose. Remember rule of thirds, center of the mouth. The chin will be right here. Now I want to indicate my nose, so I'm going to start with a triangle type shape. I'm going to locate the top plane using crosshairs. I'm going to drop in my eyeball here. And I'm going to use the eyeball and the tear duct to give me the side of the nose. There it is. Now I can further refine the shape of my nose. Turn it from a block into something more sophisticated, more refined, more natural. Now the center of the eyes, drop it down, will give me the corners of the mouth. And I'm going to go ahead and indicate the mouth and lips. And as I'm staring at this sculpture, I'm just in awe of its artistry as well. It's amazing. I can't believe someone made this out of stone. It's crazy. So Bernini is a great example for doing head studies from sculpture. If you're going to choose a sculptor, choose the best in the world, and Bernini was clearly one of the best of all time. So there's some detail there. And I'm going to drop in the balded chin because I need that for some of this detail of the pockets of fat here in his jowls. And this big mass of chin fat, this double chin here. Here indicating that detail of facial hair, and I'm going to cut out the eye opening. And notice how the lid wraps around. Drop in the pupil here. Looks a little creepy, that's okay. Same with this far eye. Start with the sphere, cut out the opening. Note the tear duct. And here I'm going to refine some of the shapes and clean up some of this drawing. Unfortunately, I have to draw dark so you can see the drawing in the video. So it does make it very sloppy. So please, again, draw light and draw delicate when you sketch. Obviously, be much easier for you to clean up in the long run. And just indicating some details there. And his jowls are covering his barrel of the mouth, so because of all the fat around his mouth, it's not too visible, so we really don't need to indicate that rhythm. We can find it other ways by following the natural shapes that we see here. Here it's actually more clear here. The outer muzzle rhythm leading to the jaw, which is obviously also covered by fat there. And lightly indicate his costume. Again, we can't see the hat detail, costume detail there, but that's okay. And because the ear is so close to the viewer's eye, I'm going to go ahead and put some detail in the ear. This is not necessary at all, especially for your studies. Remember, you want to spend no more than 5 minutes on these, so that's a great way to drop in the ear there. Refine some shapes, add some hair detail. So really here I'm just having fun. I'm having fun, I'm embellishing. All the hard work, all the preparation, all the good structure, the good foundation is there. So once that's there, you know, you can pretty much put on as much or as little detail as you want. Because the key structures are there. Key structures read well, and we're able to get a nice clean read from our drawing here. Okay. Cool. So there's my little sketch of this sculpture, this subject here, this sculpture by Bernini. So again, for homework, you want to do, spend maybe do 5 or 10 a day, every day. That's the key, is consistency, I find. And you want to do them small, relatively 2 to 3 inches, up to 5 inches. And you want to keep them anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. So these are quick studies meant to repeat the process, repeat the drill, and you want to review both the lecture video and the process video, the method, as well as this demo, in order to help guide you when you're doing your own studies. So that's it for this video. Good luck with the homework, and I will see you next time.